everybody, and welcome back to the kitchen. It is a rainy Sunday, and we want something that's going to be quick, that's going to be nutrient dense, and super tasty. So I'm going to make a miso soup with everything in it. I want to show you what I've got here. I found all these bits and pieces in my fridge that need to be eaten, and this is a perfect way to use up all those last ingredients. I've got some mince here that I'm going to make up into some meatballs, and I also found some puha outside, which is beautiful and young and tender. This is milkweed, and here in New Zealand, for Māori particularly, it's a real delicacy. It's just amazing. It has the most beautiful flavour. So I'm going to use that in the soup too. So I'll show you what I'm going to do in a moment when I prepare it. Look at that. I've done all these veg up. Don't they look fantastic? And these are just leftovers that I've had in my fridge, apart from the mushrooms, which are fresh. So everything else looked like it really, really needed to be used. So, and here's my puha here and some spring onions. So here I've got 400 grams of pork mince, and I've got some garlic and some ginger and some soy sauce down there, and I'm going to mix this up and then make them into some meatballs. I've also got some wasabi soup. Yum, I love wasabi. It is so good for your gut, you know, because it's made out of fermented soy. So these are the individual packs. It's not ideal. Normally I would have one whole pack. But I've got these individual ones that I'm going to use. So I'm going to use 8 of these sachets for 8 cups of soup, and I'm going to put that into a bowl, into a pot, and start cooking it. See you soon. Put your miso paste and your water into a pot and start to boil it just on a really low boil, and mix all your mince and your bits and pieces together to make bite-sized balls. I've got my meatballs here that I've mixed up, and I'm going to carefully put them into the pot, which is really starting to simmer nicely now with our miso paste in it. So I'm going to cook these off for probably about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'm going to, maybe 5 minutes, and then I'm going to add the veg to it. So let's see how that looks. These should, in an ideal world, stay whole. If they don't, yeah, well, doesn't matter. Look at that, our little pork balls are starting to surface when they're cooked, which is absolutely beautiful, and they're still in one piece, which is great. If you want to do vegetarian, then obviously just omit that part. That's all good. You do you. When I look at these veggies, I need to think about which veggies will cook longest, will take longest to cook, and it is the cauliflower. So I'm going to put that in first, broccoli in next, and give it probably a minute to cook, and then I'm going to add the other things like these that are grated. Won't take long at all. Okay, and we don't want to overcook everything. We just want to be able to get that flavour out and then enjoy our soup. Right, our soup is on a low boil, and we're just going to start to add those veggies. Okay, the meatballs have already started to float, and we're going to allow them a bit of time to cook. So the cauliflower I gave a few minutes, then I added the mushrooms and went from there. You're bright people, I'm sure you can figure it out. Add the really light things, the things that have been grated, right at the end. Gently stir it so that your meatballs don't break up, and then add the coriander right at the end if that's your thing, and have a look at this. Delicious. What was that? Easiest soup ever, and it is so delicious. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Check that out. That is so good. And I'm just going to get a little bit, try and do this while I can film at the same time. Let's have a look. Yeah. It's so good. That is so good. And that is so easy to make, so cheap as well, and you can use whatever you've got in your fridge. Okay, use up your veggies. It's just too expensive to buy them nowadays, so use up everything that you've got. Hope you guys are well, take it easy, and we'll see you soon. Ka kite anō.